They demonize Saturn for the same reason they demonize Oya, because destruction feels scary when you don't understand its purpose. Welcome to The Cards Made Me Do It, your gateway to the mystical realm of cardology. I'm Ayafa, here to explore how this esoteric science intertwines astrology, numerology, and the wisdom of the cards. Join me as we navigate life's mysteries through the lens of lunar cycles and celestial energies, unlocking insights that guide our path. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this podcast is a space for exploring deep, thought-provoking, and sometimes taboo topics. The goal is always to foster awareness, growth, and meaningful conversation, not to judge or harm. While I share insights from my experience as a human, certified cardologist, energy healer, and spiritual guide, this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice in legal, mental health, or medical matters. This is a brave space. If at any point you need to pause, reflect, or take a break, please honor that. Some content may challenge your perspective, and that's okay. We're here to explore, uncover, and evolve together. Alafia, and welcome back to The Cards Made Me Do It, where we break down the sacred, the misunderstood, and the misrepresented. I'm your host, Queen Daddy Saturn, the one y'all keep mistaking for the villain, when really, I'm just here to make sure your soul gets what it signed up for. In today's episode, we're going there. We're going to talk about why people keep confusing Saturn, the planet of discipline, karma, time, and cosmic accountability, with Satan. Yes, that's Satan. Spoiler alert, you've been lied to, but don't worry, I have receipts, perspective, and some much needed clarity on why Saturn isn't here to ruin your life. Just help you grow the hell up. So get ready for it. Let's talk about the name game. So, starting with the basics, why do people associate Saturn with Satan? Honestly, it's mostly vibes and spelling, not truth. The names Saturn and Satan look and sound alike, especially in English, but linguistically, they don't even share the same roots. That little similarity, combined with centuries of fear mongering, equals confusion. This is like thinking angel and angle are the same thing. Close, but one is your guide and the other makes a triangle. The Hebrew root of Satan means adversary or accuser. It was a role, not a name. Think of it more like a challenger than a devil that got twisted up later. So, Christianity's fear of the dark and the old gods, even though it's so much paganism rooted deeply into Christianity and their rituals slash holidays. And, I say this colonization didn't just steal land, it stole mythology and rebranded the gods as demons. Saturn, the Roman god, was associated with time, death, agriculture, and cycles. Christianity labeled anything outside of its system as pagan or evil. Saturn's scythe became the Grim Reaper's tool, his beard, the devil's. The Roman festival of Saturnalia involved gift giving, role reversal, and feasting. Sound familiar? Christmas absorbed many of those customs. Pan, a horned nature god, was rebranded into the modern image of the devil: beard, hooves, horns, and all. The Inquisition and witch trials targeted mystics, astrologers, and midwives, many of whom worked with Saturn's energy like life, death, karma, and timing. But here's the thing: death isn't evil, accountability isn't evil. Saturn teaches that everything has a season, including you. In astrology, Saturn is the OG life coach. It's not here to coddle you, it's here to get you ready for what's next. Saturn governs boundaries, discipline, legacy, karma, time, restrictions, and most importantly, accountability. That's probably my favorite one, accountability. And what I have found is that a lot of people that I'm going to say mainly on social media, a lot of people that make this big whoop about Saturn being Satan, especially when they intertwine other things with it, are some of the ones that I see have a history of lack of accountability. And so the ego doesn't really like discomfort. So it villainizes Saturn. But your soul, it thrives under Saturn because Saturn's going to hand you your blueprint and say, let's build, let's get to work, let's cut out the BS, and let's get it done. Let's talk about modern conspiracy and the so called Saturn cults. Saturn is symbolized by the black cube, representing matter, time, and form. This shows up in Mecca, Jewish tefillin, and occult spaces. In Kabbalah, Saturn corresponds with Bina or Bina. I don't know the pronunciation of that, but you can look it up. The sphere of understanding, boundaries, and the divine feminine. And just notice how anything that usually has to do with the divine feminine is usually labeled demonic. But I digress. Ancient Babylonian and Mesopotamian astronomers associated Saturn with judgment, agriculture, and cyclical fate. Depending on your lens, Saturn is either the guardian of this plane or the warden of your karmic jail cell. Perspective is everything. Now, listen, I'm going to say this from the heart. This is not me denying that there are people, and yes, some celebrities, some elite groups who co opt Saturnian symbols, perform rituals, and engage in some dark ass shit. That's some real stuff. And so I'm not here to gaslight that. I've seen it, you've seen it, and we're not going to play dumb. But just because someone misuses a tool, because remember, everything that we're given is a tool and it's really what you make it, you know? So just because someone misuses a tool doesn't mean the tool itself is evil. You got to think people use knives to cook, and unfortunately, some people use knives to kill, but that's not the knife's fault. The same goes for Saturn. Saturn, in its divine truth, is a planet of structure, sacred timing, and karmic return. It's the elder that checks your ego and upgrades your fucking soul. Just because some folks out here are doing rituals in a black robe with a goat or the Baphomet doesn't mean Saturn's energy is inherently demonic. So let's be clear, spiritual maturity means we can hold dual truths. Yes, people misuse sacred symbols. Yes, Saturn has been demonized. But no, that doesn't mean Saturn is the demon. Context and discernment are everything. So, really, is Saturn evil or just misunderstood? Saturn is the teacher, not the punisher. Saturn is structure, order, time. The reason you're still not spiritually crawling. Saturn doesn't tempt, Saturn tests. Saturn doesn't seduce, Saturn sharpens. Saturn doesn't lie. Saturn shows you what you've built and what you most certainly haven't. So the next time someone tells you Saturn is Satan, ask them when's the last time they sat with Saturn, aka their shadow. Ask them what they're avoiding. Ask them what part of their life needs more discipline, not more distractions. If you're walking through a Saturn transit right now, it may feel like one, but I promise you it's not a curse. It's a consecration, and it's your invitation to step into divine maturity. So, once again, thank you for tuning into The Cards Made Me Do It. Whether you're led by the cards, the cosmos, or your own intuitive fire, remember this: The planets don't lie, but your ego just might. Stay rooted, stay open, and stay crowned. I'm Ayafa, also known as Queen Daddy Saturn, and now you know Saturn isn't Satan. Ashe. Thank you for joining me on The Cards Made Me Do It. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you found value in today's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay in tune with the cosmos and let the cards illuminate your path. Until next time, embrace the magic within and around you. Peace.